Hello everyone, good evening. Good evening everyone. Thanks for your time. We'll just give couple of minutes and let's get started. Hello everyone, good evening. Snehal, Suparna, good evening. Thanks for joining. Good evening everyone. Please confirm if my voice as well as screen is visible and if my voice is clear. Please confirm if my voice is clear. Hello everyone, good evening. Thanks for joining. Is it fine now? Is there any echo? Is there any echo now? Is it good? All good? Okay. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. And thank you so much for sparing your time on weekend. In today's session, we'll have a small demo on data engineering. Okay. To start with, we'll try to understand what is data engineering and who will be the right person who can go for this course and what we are going to cover as part of this course in terms of technology, in terms of growth, in terms of job opportunities, and we'll look into all aspects. Okay, so just before we get started, it's my privilege to introduce myself. Myself, Santosh. I do have a decade of experience working in IT, and I'm an MBA graduate with respect to business analytics. And all of my experience, I work with data, very much into data-driven technologies, including data science, data engineering, and data analytics. For the last 5 years, I've been part of the mentorship, trying to train people. We have trained almost 3,000 plus people from KSR, and I'm a certified corporate trainer where I contribute in terms of providing training to the corporate companies as well. Well, this is a short introduction about myself. Uh, just we'll jump into the agenda. So as part of the agenda, everywhere you keep hearing data engineering. What is this data engineering, right? You need to understand what is this technology, why everyone keeps on speaking on this, right? So that is one thing which you need to focus on. And then we will take in a very layman term. Okay, we understand it's a subject that needs more clarity, but we will take one step at a time, try to understand in very layman term, and then we look into it why it is needed. I could have just skipped this technology. Why we are we learning? What is the need of it, and how it is going to benefit our business, right? And with respect to, we were going to compare our traditional ETL pipelines and as well as cloud ETL pipelines. That's the agenda that we'll be seeing for today. Now, let's get and try to understand the first topic, which is growth of data. Before we talk about the growth of data, I would like to understand the first problem that as a team which we are facing. Right. Let's talk about one problem statement. Keep that aside about the technology, scores, everything. Just focus on the problem statement. Now imagine our institute is launching a new course. It could be anything. Let's name it as XYZ. Now, we are also publishing a YouTube video on this course. That this course is going to start on ABC date, XY date time. So I am publishing a video, and let's say once we publish the video, in all of the videos if you have seen, we have given our Facebook ID, LinkedIn ID, WhatsApp number, Instagram account, right? And also we have given Telegram details. Now, I'm a WhatsApp person. I use a lot of time WhatsApp. You may be an Instagram person. Another person can be a LinkedIn person, right? It all depends on each individual. What is the social media you're trying to use on your daily basis? Now, imagine that you're trying to reach KSR with one of this social media network. When I say social media network, you can inquiry us through an Instagram page, or you can just text us in WhatsApp, or you can even go and get response from LinkedIn. So these are the platforms which we are getting leads. When I say leads, it could be students, it could be you all who are trying to gather more information about this XYZ course. Now, let me have a solution to this problem. How can we handle this problem? So what I'm going to do, imagine this is solution 1. This is solution 1. So we do have 895, 75, 1420, 875 and 964. Now these are the leads. When I say leads, it could be students, it could be you people who are inquiring us with respect to this platform. Say you're texting in the Instagram, hey, hi, I want to know about this course. Can you give me more details? Of course, yes. Now, from the KSR perspective, what we are currently doing is we have assigned one person for one platform. Like one person has to take care of Facebook, one person has to take care of all the leads is coming from Telegram, one person WhatsApp, one person LinkedIn, and one person Instagram. Now, each one is maintaining one social media platform and they are storing in a different file format. So when I say file format, one person is storing in a CSV file, one person is storing in Excel, one person in JSON, all this etc. etc. Okay. Now, end of the day, You need to go and inform the CEO of a company stating that, well, this is a number of leads that we got today, and this we can target them and we can start marketing for our course. Now, every company, two important things, one is marketing, one is sales. With these two only, all the companies are surviving. Now, what will happen in this case? The solution number one person, let's say like me, I have already asked the question in WhatsApp, but I've not got any response in 10-15 minutes. Immediately I went for the Instagram. I saw the post. There also I asked the same details. Now what is happening? One person has requested in WhatsApp. And the same person has requested in Instagram as well. Right? Now the challenge. How to overcome this challenge now? How many people, if you have seen here, how many people would have been a repeated people? Like let's say they have asked in multiple areas. One person have asked in Instagram, the other person have asked in WhatsApp. So it could be a repetition that can happen, right? Now, in order to handle this, what we need to do is we have to do a lot of transformations. We have to remove duplicates. And see, this could not be a number, right? I should have added all this and then I should have given a number, right? But this is not a total number. There are many people who would have been repeated people, right? So I should think about that before giving that information to CEO. Remember, CEO's decision is what everything. You cannot go and give a false information to them, right? Now, there are a lot of duplicates that can be held. Now, each one person where assigned will come up and tell that out of 895 people, this many people are interested in this course. This many people have paid the course. So I need to do an analysis now. Now, if I go and count in WhatsApp as well, because a person has reached in multiple areas, the person is duplicated, right? So my CEO is thinking that, hey, what is this? We have almost got 4,000 people. But that's not true. There are some people who have requested in multiple social media platform and you're counting them twice, right? Now that's a challenge which we have now. And the other thing is, each person is maintaining in its own file format, XML file, CSV file, JSON file, as well as different file formats, right? Now, if I want to go and see other file, I need to understand the format first. What is JSON? How they are storing the data? What is XML? What is comma separated? What is an Excel sheet? So I need to find out the format first. And each one going and talking to CEO, that doesn't look good here. Now, what I am going to do here, I am going to redesign the complete architecture and I am going to maintain the solution number 2. And the solution number 2, what I am going to do, all the files I am going to gather at a one common place, which is one database. Right? Now all the file formats, all the data which you are getting, I am going to get into one file format. We need to first put everything into a table, and from the table I can start doing all the data cleaning, like removing duplicates, focusing more on the data points, make sure that there are no null values. Each one is giving the email ID, each one has given the phone number. In case if they have not given the email ID or phone number, I will not consider them. I cannot call them. So all this data cleaning, I have to do it in a one common place, and from that data I can assign one person who can do the entire task. Currently what is happening in KSR, each platform we have assigned an each and every person who is taking care of that responsibility. One is taking care of Facebook, one is taking care of WhatsApp. Now even we need an upgrade. We cannot pay salary for 4 people, right? And in fact, it's not a 4 different role. Each one is doing the same thing, with a different platform. So what I am going to do, you bring everything into one place, and then you can focus on the analysis. Now only one person is going to talk to CEO now. And who is that person? And that person is nothing but data engineer. Now what is the role of a data engineer? The data is scattered across different systems, different platforms. As a person, you're going to gather everything at one place, make sure the data is clean, transformed, no null values, no abnormalities, right? Do everything, and from that database you can start doing the analysis, and this is a recommended solution. Now this is what we're going to propose for our KSR team. Each one taking care of different platform. How many duplications we'll have? I'll tell you what problem we are currently facing, right? What problem we are currently facing. Now, if I want to call to the student and ask, hey, you have joined a demo. So, are you interested? So, will you be able to join this course? In that case, what happens is, here each single person is contacting the file. Let's say the person is contacting from Telegram, so we have to go and call him over the Telegram channel, and we have to take his number and call him. If the same person has also requested us to WhatsApp, again what I will do, the person who's taking care of the WhatsApp data, he will also call. Same person you're calling 2 times. Don't you think I'm spending my time, effort, money? The three things which is very important even in everyone's life is time, effort, money. And all three you're spending for a duplicate person, right? So out of 4,000 people, 1,000 people could have requested from a same platform and also from the other platform. In that case, what you're going to do? You're going to call 2 times. The other person, let's say the person who's taking care of Facebook, doesn't know the details of WhatsApp. So duplication calls can happen at one point of time. You'll also get frustrated. If you're getting a credit card call on Monday morning and Friday evening, there's a lot of difference, right? Friday evening, if you just pick up the call and say that, sorry ma'am, sorry boss, I'm not interested. If Monday morning the same person calls, you will be in a frustration. Reason? You already have n number of pipeline work that needs to be done, and someone is calling and asking, do you want a loan? Right? So same person, if duplicate people and many people are calling, end of the day, there's high likely chance that you may lose a customer. Why? You're troubling him like anything. 1 time, fine, acceptable. 2 time, okay, acceptable. You keep on calling from different case. What happens? Right? This is one of the problem which I faced. Okay, I don't wanted to name that channel, but I used to get a lot of calls. Monday I used to got call. Tuesday I used to get call. Even though I enabled DND, which is basically a do not disturb service, but still a lot of duplications will happen, and you'll be getting a number of calls, right? And that is where you need to think about how we can handle it. And in order to overcome that, what we are trying to do, we are going to propose a new solution where everything I am going to put into one single system, and I'm going to handle it. And that is what I'm going to do. Here I'm going to put all these details into one system, okay, and I'll put it into a proper structured format, and then onwards this person analyzes, and he clearly tells that how many leads we have got from WhatsApp, how many leads we have got from LinkedIn, how many leads we have got from all this social media platform, and then from there he will be reporting to CEO. Just imagine 4 people or 5 people reporting to CEO and sharing the ideas, and now with just one person sharing the thoughts. Now that's where you being on top will be able to drive the solution, right? Now let's talk about This is all we are talking about what we are currently facing. Now we'll talk about data. We'll talk about data. Just some time back, I was browsing in Google and this is the stats I've got. As of 2020, the world population has reached 8 billion people. So they're not counted 2023. As of 2022, the world population has reached 8 billion. Right? Now, if you just open your smartphone, everyone, okay, while the time you are like attending the session, just open your smartphone. If you count the number of applications which you have in your smartphone, it will be minimum 20 plus. It will be minimum 20 plus. Maybe I'm a Facebook user, I may be using Facebook, you may be using Instagram. I may be like Ola, I'll travel more in Ola, you may travel in Uber, right? So I may do a lot of transactions in PhonePe and you may do a lot of transactions in GPay. It's simple as that. But minimum you will have 20 applications, and you know what? Today, Google Play Store is having around 3.5 million applications in their store. And in fact, your Apple is also having 1.6, which is half of the applications for the iPhone users. This many applications are there, and it's nothing surprised if you are having more than 20 applications. Each and everyone will have application, and each and every application requires an account, credentials, passwords, data. Without having an account, you can't even purchase a single product in Amazon. Without account, you can't even watch a single series in Netflix. Without an account, you can't even watch a single movie in your Prime. How is this possible? You need to have an account. You need to have the subscription, right? And all this becomes a data, right? And just to give you another stat, there are 4.54 billion unique mobile users in the world. First of all, we have 8 billion people. In that 8 billion people, 5.48 billion people are already using smartphone. Rest to 2 or 2.5 billion people could be elder ones or very kids, infants, right? They could be like less than 5 years, less than 10 years. Those people are this 2.5 billion. 5.48 people billion on this earth are using smartphone. And if you are using smartphone, if you are using a smartphone without an internet, right? It's like you're just eating a white rice, right? Without any side dishes, you're just eating a white rice. It's as simple as that comparison, right? If you're using a smartphone, internet is must. Then what is the purpose of using your smartphone? Everything is connected to your internet. So 5.48 billion people are using internet. Just imagine if each one is having an average of 20 applications in their smartphone. Just do a mind calculation. Just bring out your mathematics. 5 into 20, almost 20 billion application data which we have. Now tell me, how are we going to manage your database system? Here we are struggling for our KSR team, right? We are getting the team data, we are getting from Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and it's just in thousands, and we are still struggling to handle. Just think outside of this KSR team where you're getting the data in billions, in terabytes, in petabytes. Now how do you handle it? That's the biggest question now, which you have now, right? Now, taking one step at a time, now we will talk about why this data engineering is demand nowadays and not in the past, right? Not in the past. So we need to think about why this is famous in the recent time and why not in the past. If you see all the applications which you're seeing in the right side of left side of this slide, all this application is came into existence after 2000 like 2004, 2005, 2009, 2010. So all these years is where the most of the people are started using applications. Now initially also this problem was there, but somehow they were able to manage it, trying to think more towards the data side. Of course, I was telling about 8 billion people. Just think about this. In 8 billion people, 2.37 billion people are having a Facebook account. 1.5 billion people are using WhatsApp account. Right? Now, how the data is getting generated now? Now, we do have a problem with the data and we have to go and manage it. And that's the end goal. Right? Now, every day you're using smartphone, and I've also done a research and I've published a paper where I found out that an average human, whoever is an Indian, okay, and I can see like almost they are spending 6.5 hours in a day with a smartphone. 6.5 hours is a small, not a small number. Almost it's like a 1/3 of the day. On an average, I'm saying, okay, one person can use 1 hour, one person can use even 10 hours. I'm saying the average. On an average, we can see that 6.5 hours is a person is spending on a smartphone. Every second, Google is getting 40,000 search. Just like you're watching the video now, okay, for the last 30, 35 minutes, you're watching this video. You can also see that 41 lakh other users are also watching this, different videos every minute, right? And you can see that every minute Instagram was also getting around 46,000 photos. When all this are like we just know at the front end, and you can't even imagine how this is being handled at the back end, right? We are just focusing at the inner end, like how this is happening. We are like getting the data, we are like using it, but how they are storing it, how they are processing it, it's like a black box, right? You never know how this rocket flies, right? Only NASA knows, or only the team knows how it is difficult is to have a rocket science here, but we don't know. We are just seeing at the front end, right? Now all these things, if you see, what are the reasons, if you see, is one of the reason I would say is a generation of big data. A lot of people have started using smartphones, internet, sensors, right? Your CCTV camera is actually capturing the data every now and then. Your sensors is getting the data captured, right? Your devices is your watch, smartwatch, right? Let's say I've just taken this many steps. Who is giving all the information? Your smartwatch. It's a data, right? Now all this has become more user friendly for us, right? And that's how your data is getting generated. Now, in order to handle this big data, we do have n number of technologies that we need to use it. Okay. Now, is it really required to manage this data? Can we ignore it? Can we ignore it? Well, if you want to ignore it, one thing which you need to know is, if you are ignoring it, what is an impact? If you are getting it, what is an impact? And that's where you need to focus here. Well, in case if I'm not ignoring, if I'm capturing, well, definitely I would focus on decision making, right? So your data will be useful for decision making. And also, if you get more data, more analysis, and you'll get more profit, right? So we need to focus on the data rather than ignoring it, right? So you'll get to know what is the customer preference. Are they liking it, right? Are they interested to buy, or they're not interested to buy? What is the feedback? Every information we need to capture it for better clarity, right? Now we cannot ignore data. That's the first point we need to remember. We have to somehow manage it. What makes a data big? Can I get a number? Like 1 terabyte is the biggest data or a 1 petabyte is the biggest data. Now I cannot come to a judgment based on the data size. It all depends on how much of data each system can hold. Today when I started, 5 years back, let's say a KSR team, when they started their first batch, we had only 3 students. Just 3 students. And 3 students information, why you want to store in a system, it will be there in your mind itself, right? Now, today we have, let's say, 35,000 subscribers. Now, where do you store this information? Do you think I can remember in my mind? Do you think I can store it in Excel? Everything has a limitation. Everything has a limitation. Well, if you focus on it, your Excel can hold only 1 million record. After that, your Excel is not useful. What about Oracle? It can store up to 5 GB. What about MySQL? It can store up to 2 GB. The session which I'm speaking now, let's say from 7 to 8, I'm speaking non-stop, I'm speaking, right? And if I'm speaking non-stop, the data that is getting generated, because I don't know which part of the world you are, okay, whether it's a morning, evening or night for you, I really don't know. You're attending from different part of the world, but still you're able to understand what I'm speaking and it's coming out without any lag. It's all because of internet technology, right? So you need to understand that each and every word which I'm speaking, it's getting recorded, right? You can go and visit any number of times and that comes under with some size. Now imagine my audio, video, screen share, everything, if it comes to 2 terabyte, where will I go and store? Do you think you can store it in your Excel? Do you think you can store it in Oracle? Do you think you can store it in MySQL? None of these systems will help you to store this 2 terabyte of data. Well, you need to find a system in order to handle this. And that's where we are going to the next step, where the data keep on increasing every year, and you can see that right from 2016 the data was in the peak. The reason, post 2016 the smartphones was in the affordable price, the internet was in the affordable price. I still remember the first time when I took an internet plan, which was 999, and today you can get it for as less as 20 rupees for 1 day, right? So the things have changed, right? And you need to focus more on the data. Well, we know only till terabyte. If someone is asking what is your laptop configuration, the maximum you say is 1 terabyte. Well, today, just before the lockdown, the data what was getting generated was 40 gigabyte. Now what is gigabyte? It is 10 to the power of 21. That means 10 followed by 1 followed by 21 zeros. Where will I go and store this? And I'm still talking about 2020, and a lot of things have changed in the last 3 years. Even school students started using smartphone because of their online classes. The usage of smartphone, internet, sensors, all these devices have become in a peak in the last 3 years. I would say that it is expected that in 2025 the data is going to touch 175 gigabyte, which is almost 4 times the current data, right? Now how can we handle this? That's the biggest question we do have. Taking one step again forward, I'll give you another use case. Suddenly, just imagine that all of your relatives are coming to your home without you calling them, or like they have not planned. Each one is coming coincidentally, and let's say what happens. If all of your relatives comes to your home, let's say around 40 plus relatives, what will happen? First of all, the problem is they never find a place to settle. It will be completely packed, right? And now, if you're talking about the storage, that's a problem. And the other thing which you have is, it's like a food shortage. And the other thing is, we also have the problem with space, right? Now all this we need to manage it well before coming to the solution. Now what we are going to do as part of this, the reason why all of this could be a problem is you have not well planned for it. Right? So you have not well planned for it. You did not make a proper arrangements and you did not were part of this type of situation. Since you were not part of the situation, you didn't know how to handle this. Right? So you were not part of this use case before, and that was the other reason why we face this issue. Now, for relatives itself, if this is a problem, if all of a sudden, what if data also flows like this? Data is coming from Excel, CSV, flat files, JSON files, XML files. In that case, how do you handle it? Now that is where your data issue comes into picture. I was just talking about 20 to 25 relatives who are coming to your house and you're not well planned. You don't have a proper accommodation. You don't have a proper food arrangements and they don't know where to settle. If that is the case for just 20 people who are residing in your house, what if the billions of data is coming into your system from different data sources? How do you manage this? Now that's where your data becomes an issue. Have you been prepared for it? No. Right? How well you can process the data? Completely you know, I have no idea. You have never been into this situation. If all of this happens in the near future, how can we handle it? Let's say we have 35,000 customers, 35,000 subscribers. Let's say if tomorrow it becomes 3.5 lakh customers, how do we manage it? How many calls we can take? How can we reach out to our students? All this becomes a question mark, right? In order to handle this, we have to think about the stability of the system, how well we can come up with the system which can manage your huge data. Well, that is where in the real time what happens, the data will come from the different data sources which stands as ETL. You have to build a ETL which is an extract, transfer and load. Now we are jumping into a technical part. Though I was talking about a bit of stories now we have to talk about a bit of technical here, and your work is to come up with a one system which captures all the data and you will be working for a company. Right? And in that case, the way you need to handle is, you need to come up with a certain system which can take care of this. And I'll tell you one good news and one bad news. One bad news. Already you have all this. Why are you going and learning again an ETL tool? If you go and observe, there are a lot of ETL tools that are currently in the market which will help us to get this problem solved. They'll help you in getting the data from different systems. They'll organize it well, right? And they'll make sure that the data is readily available for you to work on. But why again we are learning ETL? Well, unfortunately, nowadays, because of the data increasing in size, and these systems are unable to manage this file system, right? So initially, if you observe, let's say 10 years, 15 years back, your small system would have been enough. But today, because of the population, because of the services, because of the data, how can we handle it? You need to have a bigger system, right? You need to have a bigger system. So this traditional systems which were currently in the market, slowly it is coming to a halt. That means they have become exhausted. It has completely utilized its capacity. Right? It's completely used your capacity. In the olden days, if you want to store store water, what you would have done? You would have had a small tank in your house. But today, do you think it will be sufficient for you? Definitely not. Now it should be a live water that should come to your house. Only then you can have a stabilized life, correct? Or else if your data, if your water you're getting only for once in a week, do you think you can have a complete good life? Definitely no, you'll struggle for it, right? So that's where we are facing now. What if the data is coming on and we have to keep on using it effectively? These systems were unable to manage it, and that's where now we have to move into another system where we will be focusing on the cloud. This traditional ETL pipelines were useful only 10 years back. Nowadays, the systems are also getting completed with their capacity and they are not able to process properly. This is one thing which you need to remember now. And in order to handle this traditional ETL pipelines, we do have n number of problems. If you just see it as a few steps, the one thing is your maintenance cost is more, right? Maintenance cost is more. You have to pay for it, and it is a very risk, because let's say if I have a 10 terabyte of data in my laptop, I can store only 1 terabyte, right? My laptop costs around 1.5 lakhs. So for this 1.5 lakhs, I can take only one laptop. I mean 1 terabyte. If I want to store 10 terabyte, I need to buy 10 laptops, and I have to spend 15 lakhs for it. Is it really worth to store this 10 terabyte of data? I'm spending 15 lakhs. Worst case, assume that I have money and I will go going and buying it. Who will manage this? I have to hire 10 people to sit in front of this 10 laptops, right? All this is not going to work. Well, if I want to maintain this 10 terabyte of data, currently if I want to use personally, I have to buy 10 laptops and I have to spend 15 lakhs. And there is someone who's coming from the sky and says that you give 3 lakhs, I will manage it. Why are you spending 15 lakhs? You give me 3 lakhs, everything I will manage. I will manage the resource, I will manage the system, I will manage the laptop, I will manage the storage, I will manage the backup, I will manage the people, I will manage everything. You just focus on your business, rest of the things you give it to me. If someone is coming from sky and saying that, yes, I can do handle this, and just think practically, 15 lakhs you're spending and you have to handle everything from your pocket, and you have to put your efforts, you have to hire people, you have to manage this 10 systems or 15 systems. Well, practically this could not be possible, because my focus is to improve the business and not working towards the infrastructure or environment. In that case, I need to give it to someone who takes care of it, and just 3 lakhs, just 15 lakhs is there and I have to spend just 3 lakhs to him. Well, I don't mind giving even 3 or 4 lakhs. Let him take care of everything and let me focus on my work. If someone is doing work for you, definitely will try to utilize it, right? You cannot keep on doing everything, because at one point of time your hard work is also halted. Your smart work comes into picture. You keep on working from morning to night, it's a hard work. You give it to someone else and you still do the work, it's a smart work. And that's where now we are just trying to find an alternative solution for this on-prem. On-premises are still there, but it is not able to handle the complete system in terms of the data growth. And now we need to find a solution, and the solution which I'm trying to find will be the cloud. Just as I said, right? One person is coming from sky and who is helping us. Who is that? Cloud computing. By use of cloud computing, you can get this in a very cost effective. As I said, 15 lakhs. Where is 15 lakhs? Where is 3 lakhs? Right? And the one good thing is unlimited storage. You can store as many as data. Today it is in terabytes, tomorrow it is in petabytes, tomorrow it is in gigabytes. Still you can store it. Right? And that's where your cloud computing is also the other solution that we will be using. And just to focus on, there are 4 cloud services which most of the companies are using. To give a more precise example, let's say you want to have a food, okay, a restaurant. And if you are wanting to have a food, you have 4 restaurants nearby. See, the same food is available in all the 4 restaurants. But question to you, which one you'll choose? Which one you'll choose? Same food, 4 different restaurants. Will you choose A, B, C or D? Well, now it's your decision. Why? You will look for the distance, you look for the quality of food, you look for the price, you look for the service, and you look for the all the benefits that the restaurants are giving. Based on that, you will choose one. Of course, I need to accept the fact that AWS stands on top in among all the four services, but the one which we are learning in our course is Microsoft Azure. The reason? Well, the food which I'm looking for, that is good only in a specific restaurant, and that is what is Azure. If I'm looking for all the other food, maybe AWS is a good one. But I am looking for a service which is good only in the Azure. Well, both the ways, both can give you the best solutions, but I'll be thinking in multiple directions because I need to manage the cost, and I need to manage the performance, and I need to take care of all the things into consideration. Well, in our course, we will be learning Azure. Okay, now all of this technical part is done. So let's move forward in knowing about the Azure. So Azure provides around 200 plus service. So you're not going to get all the 200 services here, right? So you can build a mobile application, you can build a web application, you can build a data pipelines, you can do the data analysis, and you can deploy the code. You can do n number of things. You just go to a restaurant and you are seeing a 200 menu. Will you go and taste all the 200 menu? Definitely not. You went for a breakfast, you look for a breakfast items. You went for a lunch, you go for the lunch items. So you will not eat all the 200 items which is mentioned on the menu. Here also, you're not going to utilize all the 200 services which is required. What we are going to work, we are going to work with the pipelines. For that pipelines, I need to store the data. I need to transform the data. I need to analyze the data. And for this, what are the services required? Only those things I will be learning. And that's where I would say this provides 200 service, but I need not know 200 service. The people who have worked on this, who have built this, even they don't know all 200 service. It all depends on what use case you are trying to solve. Okay, now let's come towards the climax now. How to become a data engineer first. We all know that what's the problem now? The data is flowing in different directions, but no one is there to do the data pipelines. For that, we need to understand that what are the things you need to learn. In order to communicate with a database, there is only one language you need to communicate, that is SQL. Without SQL, you cannot go and talk to any database. Like, let's say you are in Andhra or Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, you have to speak only the local language in order to stay there. In order to survive in that state, you need to know a local language. Your SQL is like that. You have to know this language to communicate with the database. If you go and ask in other languages, your database will not understand. You have to communicate only with the known language, that is SQL. Now, this is with respect to within a database. Now outside the database, if I want to go and communicate, if I want to go and bring the data from the database to other system, unfortunately, your SQL will not help. In that case, one programming language is required, which is Python. So Python is a programming language. Now, what Python does, it helps us to communicate with the outside tools rather than only working with a database. Now that's where we have to learn another programming language, Python. And all the people in this group or whoever is listening to me, if you are trying to understand what is the requirement to learn Python, should I be from a coding background? Right? What is the prerequisites that I need to be a coder? I need to be a programmer? Well, all of your questions, one thing I would say is, if you want to learn Python, the only thing which you really require is English. If you know English, you can write the code in Python. Your Python is as simple as that, writing your English statements. Right? No much of a syntax based here. Everything is a user friendly for us. You can write a logic as you wish in a different ways. and you will be able to achieve it. If you know English, you can learn Python. That's the only straightforward answer. If you are asking, should I be from a coding background? Should I learn coding? Yes, coding should be learned. Why? Your SQL is helpful only for DB to DB. If you want to connect to DB to DB, database to database, your SQL is good. But if I want to connect to DB to any other tool, in that case, your SQL not work. Your programming language will work. And that's where your Python comes into picture. To focus more on it, you need to properly arrange proper things at your home. Even in your home, right? Let's say you have a cupboard. In the cupboard, if you have, I have an example which I'll show you. Let's say this one, right? You have a bookshelf in your house, right? Most of you will have it. Now, if you've properly seen, this is a and B. If I ask you a question, which shelf you have at your home, 90% of the people will say A. Why? We don't even bother in arranging, right? We everything dump it. Now imagine if I'm searching any specific magazine or a newspaper in this. Any magazine or a newspaper, any notebook. You may even get it in 5 minutes or even may get it in 30 minutes. And once you pick it, imagine that everything falls off and you need to arrange it. For arranging, you just need 5 minutes. For searching, you have to spend minimum 30 minutes. For searching a book, magazine, newspaper, you have to pull out everything. And if you're very lucky, you will get it in 1 minute or 2 minutes. And of course, we are all unlucky people. As long as luck favors us, we don't believe in luck. That's a human mindset. Right? And we're all unlucky people. Immediately, we will not get it. Everything we have to pull it out. And that's why it's going to take 30 minutes for you to search it. But if you take about the B, for arranging, if you have to put 30 minutes, right? And searching becomes just 5 minutes. If you just want to go and search a specific book, you know that what books are stored in which shelf, you can directly go and pick it. Of course, I understand that 30 minutes is going to take some time for arranging, but it's really the worth. Why? It's a one-time investment. You spend 30 minutes and you need not even worry about for the entire year, because whoever comes, whoever asks this magazines or books or whatever it is, you can just pick it within 5 minutes. But not the other case, because arranging should be 5 minutes, but the searching will take time. So this is what a simple, a layman term understanding about a data warehousing system, storing specific information to a specific table in a properly organized manner is what? Your data warehousing. Storing proper information in a proper specific table, just like you're storing a proper books in a proper shelf. The best example I can give you is a library. The library can be as big as there, but if you want to go and search a book, within 5 minutes you can search. That's the beauty of library, because they have arranged properly in a shelves, noted down. They have given a proper indication what type of books, what type of shelves you have, and that's the proper arrangements of library. And I'm talking about books here, but when I'm talking about a data, it's what a data warehousing system, properly arranging the data in a well organized manner. We talking about data warehousing. The other biggest challenge which we have is the data is growing bigger, and we are expecting the data to touch 175 gigabyte by end of 2025. Who is going to manage this? Well, we need to bring an architecture, we need to bring a person, and that person who is going to help us in solving this big data problem is Hadoop and Spark. These people will help us to solve the problem. If the data is huge, how to store it, how to work with it, how to do the transformations, and these people will help. And this is needed for your bigger data. And this is for organizing it. Okay, and this is for bigger data. And all in all, you know all this, but it is all in the on-prem. But unfortunately, nowadays, on-prem systems are not capable of handling it. When I used my first smartphone, when I first purchased, right, I still remember Moto G is the first mobile which I purchased as a smartphone, and the RAM was 1 GB. Okay, RAM was 1 GB. Do you think 1 GB phone you can use it in this trend? Your one app itself is 1 GB. Minimum you need 16 GB RAM for your phone to operate properly. And if you go and open this 1 GB RAM phone now, even last week also I just opened it, it's very slow. By the time I touch here, I could have operated here, I would have sent message in my latest phone. So your RAM is increasing. So your on-prem systems which was in the past, which is not at all capable of handling this heavy data, and that's the reason, and now we have to go to cloud. Right? And going one step, the demand for data engineers is growing. Just because the data is growing, we do also have the data engineers are growing. I'll tell you a hard fact. All your data analysis, data science projects are going down. It's because the data is still not well formatted. You being the data engineers has to take more responsibility in organizing the data, making others work cool. Right? And it is expected by 2028 or 2026, we can see that there is 60 to 80% of the demand will increase based on your roles, salary, everything. Why? The day this technologies will go down, there are two things. People should stop using internet. People should go back to the traditional way of communicating it. Do you think it was going to happen? Never. Right? It's never going to happen. People are have already seen the comfort zone. No one is going back and using the old technologies. Now every day, every minute, there is an increase in the smartphone, there is an increase in the usage, there is an increase in the internet usage, and moreover many benefits are there. Every day there are hundreds of new applications that comes into the market, and we all are adhere to it. Who will go and stop using it? It's never possible. On an average, you're spending 6 to 6.5 hours of the time on your internet and your smartphones. Is it going to come down? Never. But as of today, we don't have talents. We are just worried about the usage. All of you people who are listening to me, if you are like focusing on the applications which you're using Facebook, you're using Instagram, you're using WhatsApp. Have you ever thought how it is working ever any one time? Never. You would have never done it. You would have never done it. We are still focusing on the usage, but we still don't know what is the efforts, how the company is improving in the data. Now that's where we have a challenge. Everyone is thinking about the usage, but no one knows what is happening in the back door. Right? That is one thing which you need to understand. And as of today, we do have demand. Right? Now, moving on. Where do we have opportunity when working with data engineering? One thing which I would say is data is everywhere. Data is everywhere. Right? So the one place where data is not there, I can't even think out of it. Bank, e-commerce, telecommunication, healthcare, travel, retail, digital. Even if I want to send money to someone, I am just adding as an UPI and I'm sending money, it's still a data for us. Right? So organizing the data is a key here, and data engineers will have all over the opportunities. As I said, right, in KSR also we are facing the issue. We are using 5 people for 5 platforms to collect the data. Why can't I use one system where I can collate everything and use it for my usage? That's where your opportunity lies. Tomorrow, if you're thinking, will I get a job? Just think about the open opportunities. Where you will not get opportunity also, I'll tell you, you start thinking. Wherever data is not involved, there, data engineers will not be there. I'll give you 2 minutes time. Think and tell me where data is not involved. Tell me any application, tell me any app, tell me anything which the data is not at all involved. Can't even tell that. That's how the data is an asset for us. Right? Now this is about the opportunities. To focus more, what is expected salary? Well, we do have 2 times your experience, 3 times your experience, 4 times your experience. The ideal salary for IT person, people who are working, people who are not working, based on my experience, based on the standard, based on the communication which we have over all the organization, the standard is 2 times your expected, I mean 2 times your experience. Imagine your 5 years experience, the IT market will pay around 10 to 12 LPA. This is for ideally any person in IT will get this. If you are getting less than this, please consider yourself as an underpaid. It's a hard truth that we need to accept it. You are underpaid. By chance, if you are getting paid around 15 lakhs for the same experience, that means it's almost 2.5 times to 3 times. Well, you are well above the market. We can call you as a overpaid. And this is what people expect, because at 5 years it is expected that you to have around 15%, I mean 15 lakhs. And all this I'm saying about a normal service based company. Okay. But you want to be an extraordinary person in IT, you have to get minimum 4 times. When I say 4 times, for 5 years, your package should be minimum 20 LPA. If this is the case, then that means you are well above 70% people on this IT. And this is what you have to prefer, and this you will not get it for every technology. Please remember, you will get only for the hottest skill currently in the market, where we don't have much talents. Data engineering is actually lagging in talents. We do have a lot of work, we do have a lot of projects, we do have a lot of people in need, but unfortunately no one knows it. And that's where you need to think in terms of the salary also. Your data engineers, and I recently have one of the student for 6 years, he almost got 39 lakhs. This is a live example which I'm saying. How it is possible? It's possible because of toppest skill, hottest skill, and we have very less talents. Right? And this is one thing which we are talking about, expected salary. And if you talk about the job market, the medium salary to data engineers is almost 17 lakhs, and it is highest paying in the industry. And the two things which you need to remember, it is hottest skill in the market, and it has a very, very less talents. Data is everywhere. It's like a live connection for us. Right? You go and travel, you need data. You go and do a transaction, you need data. I'm taking a class, I need a data. Data is everywhere. Data is an asset for us. It's not even a money, it's an asset for us. And the highest share, if you see, 30% of the data engineers who are within the range 2 to 8 years experience are getting the highest salaries. Banking plays a major role in the data engineering. There are thousands of banks. All of us, they need data engineers to work on. And taking one step at a time, who can go for this course? So basically, once you come out of the college, everyone says that learn Java, learn .NET. Do you think there's no other course? There are a lot of other things which you don't know. Start focusing on a data driven. This could be a very good opportunity for your freshers. Already you're working in some analysis, you want to build your career and you want to get more into a stabilized career. We all know that in all over the world layoffs is happening, people are getting fired, and we don't have calls, we don't have opportunities. But one thing I would say is, even today I'm still hiring people for data engineers. Irrespective of what is happening in the market, irrespective of what is happening in the layoff, we are still hiring for data engineers. It's all because people not aware of the problem. Everyone wants to do analysis, everyone wants to come up with the models, but try to understand there is no foundation. You want to build a mall, you want to build an office, you want to build your penthouse, everything you want to build, but where is the foundation? Foundation itself is not there, and that's what your data engineers are helping us. And if you want to move from a non-technical to technical, yes, this could be possible, but provided you have to put some efforts. This is just not like any BI tool or a no coding technology where you can learn it in one day. This has to come with a process. You have to learn step by step. You have to take one step at a time, learn coding. And as I said, right, for learning coding, you need not be an extraordinary person. A normal person who knows English also can code, provided you need to have a practice. If you have a proper practice, you can go and learn this. Don't worry if you are a non-technical person. Don't worry if you're coming under a gap. Don't worry if you're completely new to this. We are going to work. We are going to work together in understanding all this. Everything we will teach you from scratch. And as I said, among all the technologies, I'll be upfront. This technology is the toughest one. But I'll also tell you another one. It's worth the subject. You will learn it, you get a better career. If you want like understanding your career path, let's say I don't want coding, I still want to get into it, I can suggest a number of other courses. But which one is going to be the future? Which one is going to be the life-changing career for you? All is this because the foundation itself is not good. And the only reason why people are not getting into these technologies, they feel that the subject is tough. But that's where you can scale up. Right? People are very much afraid. I would say if you see the entire people, around 70 to 75% not even give a try. You know why? Fear. How will I be able to do? If you're coming out of this fear, you're 70% have already achieved what you want to do. Fear is what which is putting a barrier in front of you that you're not able to focus on what subject it is. If you throw out the fear, you're 70% have already succeeded. Just 30% you need to learn the subject. The reason why most of them are not learning this, it's all because they think that it is tough, but we are going to learn everything from scratch. Like we learn like in ABCD in English language, we are going to learn everything from scratch. Python from scratch, SQL from scratch, Azure from scratch, everything is going to be from 0 to 100. Right? And after completing this course, definitely you will be able to build a pipeline, and these are the technologies and tools that you will be able to master. And next question you may have is, well, I can learn from any tutorials, any e-learning platform. I go and search in YouTube, I get hundreds of videos, and I go and browse in Google. Of course, ChatGPT is there which can help me. Well, if you all think, well, I would say that for everything, one thing which you need to understand is where to start. You may be an extraordinary person in understanding or learning, but the only thing which you lack is the real-time experience. And that's where we are here to help you. We're all working professionals who are working for multiple projects in the companies. We can help you to give you a path. Of course, I cannot learn behalf of you. I'll give you a path. We will help you in knowing how to move forward. And after that, you can just take the direction. It's like a guide. Right? You travel somewhere, there is a guide who will help you. But who is the person who's driving? It's you. It's your car, you're driving. But there is a person who's sitting next to you who is guiding you. We are guiding you here, where to start, how to start, what are the pipelines you can do it, what is really required, everything we'll be focusing on, and from there onwards, you can take forward. Okay, so we do have around 70 to 80 hours of sessions we take, and we work with the real-time projects. We build around 5 to 6 real-time pipelines moving from on-prem data to the cloud, and all the real-time use cases we try minimum to 5 to 6 services, and we also help you in preparing your resumes. We will review your resumes, and we will also be taking mock interviews. Right? And all in one, we are going to teach everything into one place. You go and search in any of the platform. You have to learn SQL separately. You have to learn Python separately. You have to learn Azure separately, and then you have to relate it. But here, it's like you come here, learn everything, and all in one, I would say. Okay, and by the time you complete the course, you will also start improving some soft skills. You'll improve your communication, and you'll get to know like how to work in an organization, because moreover, like a training center, we work as an organization. Everything will be processed. In fact, if you're facing any issue, you cannot just call, you just need to send a formal email. And that's how we have made a practice for all of the students. You cannot just drop a message in WhatsApp or something. Like, you have to have a process, and that's where we try to manage this your work environment here. Okay, so this is one thing which we will be being part of one stop shop, which is going to be our KSR Datavizon. And I would like to conclude here, and I am open to all of your questions. So please ask your questions. I will be answering one by one. The first question, I'll go from last. So there is a buzz around AI and chat GPT. We are hearing this in recession. How do we go? Well, one thing I'll tell you, no one can replace human brain. There could be n number of AI technologies, but you will not be able to use it. I'll tell you one live example of chat GPT. If you can try this, okay? I have also seen this article. You can just go and search in chat GPT, like, what are the websites, okay, where I can download movies. You can just go and search this, and you know what, it gives you an answer. Well, this is restricted, you cannot download movie from websites, so I don't have any idea. So it gives a blank answer. It doesn't even give which websites are. The question which I asked is, what are the movies I can download from which website, which websites I can download the movies, and you will get a blank answer. It will say, no, I don't know, and this is something which is out of my scope. If I ask in a different direction, where are the websites where I should not download the movies? You ask in a positive direction and you'll get a response. You'll get a 10 websites where it will say these are the websites you should not download. Don't you think I have fooled the system? With my brain, with my logically thinking, don't you think I have fooled the system? It's just a machine. It's getting trained. It can never replace human brain. The most brilliant person, I would say, most brilliant thing in the world is human brain. No one can replace it. Irrespective of chat GPT, irrespective of XYZ, we can use it to a certain extent, but we cannot replace it. Definitely, we will be having 5 free demo classes, and the course is going to start in the last week of July, and we will be like giving you 5 free sessions. You can attend the first 5 free sessions and then take a call. Which topics covered? As I said, 200 services. It's not possible to learn everything. For a data engineering pipeline like Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Synopsys, Azure Block Storage, Azure SQL Database, Azure Stream Analytics, all the services which we'll be learning. Limitations of this ETL tool, definitely yes, this doesn't seems to fit in the data, and we will not be able to store the used data into your ETL systems, which is a on-prem. A non-technical or a non-coding background, as I said, you need to put efforts, but we'll make your work easier. We'll give you a path. This is what you need to follow. And if you listen what we are saying, if you're putting your efforts, anyone can become a data engineer. Even if you're a 10 standard student, you will still able to understand, because everything we are going to teach from scratch. The course start date will be in the towards the last week of the July. Okay, if I'm not wrong, it should be somewhere around 27th July, and the price will be 25,000, which includes a recorded session, live session, resume preparation, and we'll be helping you in all of these things. And the sessions will be from Monday to Saturday, morning 8 a.m. to 9:15 or 9:30, depending on the questions, IST time. Monday to Saturday. In case if couple of days if you have missed attending the classes, nothing to worry. You should be able to capture it, because we are sharing you the complete recording. Any other question? Any other question? So please subscribe our channel. If you have not subscribed, we will definitely help you in sharing more ideas and we'll get to know you what is happening in the IT. And if you want to join our course, please go to the datavision.com and you will be able to log in here, and please create an email ID. It's completely free. You will be able to log in with your email ID and password, and this is a website. You will be getting more of this information. And if you go to the my course, definitely you'll be able to see the course. If you can go to the course and if you see the upcoming course, and you should be able to get this. So please go to this data engineering and you can get this brochure downloaded. And once you get this brochure downloaded, you will be able to see what are the things which we are covering, and you can start enrolling it. And once you start enrolling it, you will be able to see the you'll be able to see when the session is going to start. So that time also you'll be able to see. Please enroll it. It is going to start in the July 27th, and I'll be the trainer who will be helping you in getting all of this knowledge starting from SQL to Azure. I'll be giving you a strong foundation, and then onwards you can start working in a company. Okay, I will be sharing some real-time pipelines that we usually get, different scenarios we get in the companies. While multiple scenarios, moving the data from one service to other service, from on-prem to cloud migrations, from device data to your system. All of this we will be able to help you. Okay, and just to give you more context, let's say if I have a current batch, and let's say if I have missed some of the classes, I can easily go and attend. Let's say for this is a class, and all of the sessions, if you see, this is a syllabus we have, and we do have the SQL. And if you're just going through and seeing the recording, and automatically you can go and see any video, any recording at any point of time. Okay, so the timing for the session is going to be 1.5 hours, Monday to Saturday. Sunday is for break. You can practice all the assignments, homeworks, question and answers, doubt clearance, everything. We'll try to do it on Sunday. Monday to Saturday you will be having the classes, and at any point of time you can go and access a recording for 1 year. And you may ask, why 1 year? Why you need 1 year? You just can get it in job in 3 months. Right, you can get job in 3 months. If you're still not able to get 1 year, then as a system and as a team we are all failing. Right, so maximum 3 months post this course you should be able to get a job. And why 1 year? Because 1 year many things can change. Right, many new topics can come, many new service can come. So maximum you'll be able to access our course for 1 year. All the details, everything we will be able to provide you, and you can always go through the recordings. So this is where you can go and access the course. So please log in to our website, and please subscribe our channel. You will be able to get more information of it. And I'm ready to answer all of your questions. Please do have your questions. I can answer your questions. Please subscribe our channel if you're not subscribed. Any other question? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, always feel free to reach out to our team. Our team can guide you, and our team can help you to choose the better career. Thank you all. Thank you so much for spending your time on weekend. Have a great day tomorrow. Enjoy your day, and we will meet on class. Thank you.